In angiosperms, a specific biological trigger occurs right after fertilization. The flower drops its petals, and the ovary itself swells and ripens into a fruit. Inside, the fertilized ovules harden into seeds. When a fruit develops strictly from this mature ovary, we call it a true fruit, or a eucarp. If you look at this split-screen diagram of a mango and a coconut, you'll see they share the exact same fruit wall, known as the pericarp. This pericarp is divided into 3 layers: the outer skin or epicarp, the middle mesocarp, and the inner endocarp protecting the seed. But here is a common trap for the WBCHSE exam. Notice the edible parts. In the mango, you eat that thick, fleshy mesocarp. In the coconut, that exact same mesocarp layer is fibrous coir, and the part you actually consume is the inner white endosperm of the seed. Despite different edible tissues, both the mango and the coconut are structurally classified as drupes because they develop from a monocarpellary superior ovary. Tracing a fruit back to its floral anatomy is the most reliable way to categorize it and pinpoint exactly which tissues end up on your plate. Now, look at this apple cross-section. The ovary is entirely enclosed. Accessory floral parts, like the thalamus or receptacle, swell up around it. Because a tissue other than the ovary forms the edible bulk, the apple is classified as a false fruit or pseudocarp. Then you have cases that skip fertilization entirely. Take the banana. The ovary develops into a fruit without the fusion of male and female gametes. This biological bypass is called parthenocarpy, and it naturally results in a fruit with no mature seeds inside. Fertilization and ovary-exclusive development are standard baselines, but they aren't absolute rules. In competitive botany exams, the questions consistently target these exact exceptions. To organize all this variation, we sort fruits into 3 main categories based on the number of flowers and ovaries involved: simple, aggregate, and multiple. Simple fruits develop from a single flower with 1 ovary or fused ovaries. This citrus fruit, classified as a Hesperidium, fits perfectly here. Its tough, leathery rind is the outer pericarp, and those juicy, edible bits inside are succulent placental hairs. Aggregate fruits, or Eterios, also come from a single flower, but one that has multiple free-floating carpels. Each independent carpel develops into a tiny fruitlet, clustering together on the receptacle, just like the achenes on the outside of the strawberry. Multiple fruits, or syncarps, scale up even further. They develop from an entire inflorescence. In a jackfruit, dozens of individual flowers, along with the central stalk and bracts, fuse together as they grow to create one massive compound fruit. The architecture of a mature fruit is a direct physical record of the specific floral arrangement it grew out of. This side-by-side comparison shows the 2 main strategies for storing food inside the seed. On the left, the dicot pea seed has consumed all its endosperm during development, packing that energy into 2 large cotyledons. This is an X-albuminous seed. On the right, the monocot maize grain retained a large starchy endosperm for later use, making it an albuminous seed. Focusing just on the monocot maize grain, you see a highly specialized layout. The bulky endosperm is surrounded by a protein-rich skin called the alluron layer. Tucked into a groove at the base is the embryo itself, equipped with a single large shield-shaped cotyledon known as the scutellum. That embryo has 2 distinct ends, each protected by a sheath. Here is how to keep them straight on a test. The P matches the P. The coleoptile covers the plumule, which becomes the shoot, and the R matches the R. The coleorhiza covers the radicle, which becomes the root. Whether a seed absorbs its endosperm early or keeps it separate, its internal anatomy is strictly optimized to preserve its energy reserves until germination. Let's lock this in. Pause the video and test yourself on these 3 specimens: an apple, a cashew nut, and a grain of wheat. For each one, determine if it is a true or false fruit, identify the edible part, and state if the seed is albuminous or exalbuminous. Here are the correct classifications. The apple is a false fruit, where you eat the thalamus. The cashew is also a false fruit, where the pedicel and cotyledons are edible. And the wheat grain is a true fruit, carrying an albuminous seed where you digest the endosperm. Let's do one more rapid-fire match, focusing on the trickiest edible parts. For lychee, you eat the fleshy aril. For a pomegranate, it's the juicy seed coat, or testa. And for the coconut, as we saw earlier, you eat the liquid and solid endosperm. Take a screenshot of these 2 summary charts. They map out the entire structural hierarchy of simple, aggregate, and multiple fruits, alongside the exact anatomical differences between dicot and monocot seeds. Memorizing the baseline rules is a start, but commanding these specific anatomical exceptions is how you secure top marks in your board exams and competitive medical entrances.